Hello, everyone. It's a nice early morning for me, 4 a.m. I'm sorry running a few minutes late. I think there was some technical issues getting the webinar started. Um, so before we get going in today's webinar, just a quick disclaimer. It's in front of you. Please go ahead and read that. In summary, trading is risky. Don't trade with money you can't afford to lose. Nothing in today's webinar is a solicitation to trade. Okay, it's all educational. All right, let me quickly switch screens. All right, I hope everyone can see my monitor. If you didn't listen to the previous webinar in the series, I'll introduce myself. My name is Ilan Asbel. I am the CEO and one of the founders of a company called AutoChartist. We're a decision support platform that does technical analysis and risk management. Um, uh, uh, and it's plugged into MetaTrader, and that's what we'll be using today primarily. The tool is free of charge if you have a live account at FP Markets, so there's no need to worry about me trying to sell you something. FP Markets already pays your license fee on your behalf. So this is purely educational. Put your guard down. I'm not trying to pitch you or sell you anything or convince you of anything. And then what else? I think that's about it. If you didn't listen to last week's webinar, the way you get this, get the AutoChartist platform is by going onto the FP Markets website, clicking on platforms, and there's a link called AutoChartist. And when you click that link, you get to this website. There's information about it. There's some videos, educational videos, some features, etc. Once you register and log in, you have the ability to download a plugin, like a setup file, and then you just do what you normally do on your computer with setup files. You click next, and the thing installs. If you don't want to go through the FP Markets website, then I am sending to everyone a link right now where you can download the plugin directly from our website. I've just sent you that link. Again, you just run through the setup process, and at the end of it, you will have an expert advisor, just like I'm highlighting on my screen right now. You have that on your MetaTrader. You also have something called the AutoChartist Risk Calculator. This AutoChartist Risk Calculator will not be discussing today at all. I know we touched on it in the previous webinar, but today we're not going to be touching on that at all. Today's webinar is actually tries to answer one of the biggest questions most people have, which is you have so many pages of opportunities at AutoChartist. How do you pick which ones to actually trade? Okay, and so today's webinar, I'm going to be talking a lot about past performance statistics. And this is a very important disclaimer. Past performance may not be indicative of future performance, right? It is what it is. It's past performance. Okay, so when you ask the weatherman, what's the chances of rain today, and he says 30%, he's not a a seer or an oracle. He doesn't know that it's 30%. The weatherman, the 30 when someone tells you what the weather probability is of rain today, what they're actually saying is when the wind is in this direction and the cloud covers like this and the temperature is like this and the humidity is like that, then out of the last 100 times that happened, 30 times it rained. Okay, so that's also the same in in weather forecasting, and the same in forecasting trades. Again, we're just saying what happened in the past in these different scenarios, and how, and then based on that, the likelihood of the future. Okay, and so we have all these opportunities here, and the first thing we have to do is to look at these filter section. And I mentioned last time these big movements. These are more informational in nature, so I'm going to go ahead and remove them and keep the breakout chart patterns, breakout key levels, and approaching key levels only on my AutoChartist market scanner. And there's a specific reason for that, and I'll show you why that is now. If you click on this little world icon and copy and paste the performance statistics link into a browser window, okay, you'll come up with past performance stats. These past performance stats are split into 3 sections. The first section is breakout chart patterns. The second section is breakout key levels. And the third section is emerging key levels. Let's talk about what each one of these look like. Breakout chart patterns, for example, is when the price is oscillating between support and resistance, right? And then there's a breakout. So here, so for example, there's a breakout through a resistance level, and it's telling you that the price is going to go up. Or if it breaks through support, it means the forecast that the price is going to go down, right? Those are breakout chart patterns. Breakout key levels is when the price is oscillating under a support or resistance level, and then there's a breakout through that support level, okay, and or resistance level in this case, and then that means there's a possible continuation in the trend. The same thing is applicable for support levels. And approaching key levels is when the price is oscillating and potentially moving towards a key level, but hasn't yet broken out, right? So the price is not yet broken out, but this key level provides a target for the forecast, right? So in all 3 of these situations, for the breakout chart patterns, we provide a target region. For the breakout key level, we provide a target region, and for the emerging key level, the target price is the line itself, right? Because we think that the price is going to retest that level. Okay, so those are the 3 different types of stats that we have, historical stats. Let's dig into each one of these. Right, so when we go into, we click on chart patterns, Forex. These are the stats for the last 6 months in the Forex market, right? So in the last, oh, it's actually 12 months. In the last 12 months, we've identified 53,000 chart patterns, breakout chart patterns, of which 36,000 hit their target level. That's about 67% hit rate. But what we provide is really a breakdown of all these statistics. So, for example, you can see, let me get a pen, there we go. So you can see that over the last 12 months, Head and Shoulders and inverse Head and Shoulders have done really, really well. 87, 85% of the time, it's hit that target level. Rectangle has done really, really well as well, right? But what do these actually mean, these percentages? Oh, look at double bottom, right? And channel up. These have done really well. So what does this actually mean that, let's say, a double bottom hit its target level 80% of the time? Let me draw it for you. This is what a double bottom looks like. Okay, double bottom, there was a breakout, there was a forecast in the bullish direction, and we have a target region. Now, this 80% means that I'm going to change the color of my pen. Let's make it blue. Okay, so this means that when we made this forecast 141 times out of the last 177, when we identified this type of breakout, within one pattern length, So this is a pattern length. So within one pattern length of in the future, the price went above this line. I went above this target level, right? So again, I'm going to just change my pen color. That means the price broke out and it oscillated and then reached that level. However, I want to point out that we run these statistics independent of stop loss. Okay, because well, I'll give you the reasoning why. It's because there are so many different stop loss strategies in the market, right? I've seen people use trailing stops, fixed stops, Bollinger Bands as stops, moving averages as stops. I mean, I can name you a dozen stop loss strategies that people use. And what we're looking for at AutoCharters is our objective is not to give you a trading system, a buy-sell trading system. Our objective is to scan the markets for trade setups and trade opportunities that you can trade using your own style. Okay, so we don't put a stop loss. We just say, did the price hit this target region within one pattern length? Sometimes the price does this and then shoots up, right, to hit that target level, in which case we still, in our statistics, we still mark it as a positive trade, right? A good trade. So remember what this 80% actually means, right? It doesn't mean that every price just went directly up to hit its target level. It means that sometime within a reasonable time in the future of the identification, the price hit its target level. Let me quickly show you what this looks like in Meta, and then we'll go back into the statistics. So here's a channel down on OrdCAD. So as you can see here, AutoCharters identified this channel down and provided a target region, right? So I can zoom in here for you. Okay, so now we thought there was a breakout. We think the price is going up to that gray area. In particular, for the statistics calculation, in particular, it's that this first line over here. Now we can see right now there is a bit of a pullback, which is pretty normal. I mean, you know, you have a massive run up like this. Oh, my pen color is wrong. Sorry, let me choose a different pen color. Let's go with pink. Let's try pink. Okay, so you have a massive run up. As we all know in the markets, things don't just continue going up, right? There's always a bit of a pullback. So again, right now it's a bit of a pullback. Who knows? It might completely go this way, or it might you know, turn around and continue with a breakout. But the point is, there's no argument. The price broke out, and our forecast where that red line is based on technical analysis theory, and there's a probability that the price will go up to that level. Okay, so now back to the statistics themselves. So this is OrdCAD 4-hour channel down. So let's go back to the stats. So channel down, in general, over the last 12 months, 72% of them hit their target level. OrdCAD, unfortunately, though, only at 67% of the last 12 months has hit their target level. Still pretty good. But not, obviously not as good as the channel down themselves. And on the 4-hourly pattern, trying to find the time interval, here we go. The 4-hourly pattern, about 66% of their time. So kind of for me in my head, I average those three, and I'm saying, oh, okay, there's maybe about, based on past performance, there's maybe about a 70% chance of that hitting its target level. However, I must point out that we don't have stats about specific instruments, specific time intervals, and symbols. The reason is because the sample sizes become really small. Sometimes we have to, you know, you end up with 3 3 instances, right? And so, you know, you need your sample size to be at least 20 to 30 sample size before deriving predictions on specific instances, right? So we provide generalized statistics around this. Okay, so now you know whether you think you want to trade this thing or not in your head. About a maybe 65 to 70% chance of this opportunity hitting its target level. And so what you can do, again, like I did last time, let's quickly run through the risk calculator. I'm gonna set a stop loss, let's say down here, and I'm gonna risk $100. So I'm gonna trade with a volume of 0.98. Oh, now it's one, let's say one lot with a stop loss at this price level over here, and take profit we said at 0.91100. Okay, and we buy at market, and there we have that trade setup in the market. Okay, and we've risked $100. Of course, I set my stop loss really close. I guess you know, if I really had to analyze this, I'd probably set the stop loss. Oops, I'd probably set the stop loss actually kind of down here somewhere. I'm guessing where the previous consolidation level was, but anyway, you get the idea. I don't want to lose too much money today or win too much money. I'm going to close that order, but just to give an idea of what that looks like. Okay, so let's go back to the statistics. So if now we look at the breakout chart patterns for the key levels, right? Remember what key levels are. Key levels are the horizontal support resistance line. So let's look at this Aussie Kiwi opportunity that we've got. Okay, so here is the Aussie Kiwi pair on the daily chart, having a nice strong breakout through this resistance level, and we provide a forecast up to this level over here. Now let's look at what this looks like. Kiwi dollar daily. Let's look at what the stats look like. Okay, so resistance up at 74. We're looking at a breakout resistance. Daily patterns 72. Aussie Kiwi at 76. So here in this situation, we're thinking, okay, way over 70% likelihood of, based on past performance, obviously, of this price hitting that target level. What I'm going to do is I think I'm going to go ahead and place that trade. So I'm going to take out my Autochartist risk calculator. I'm going to set my stop loss to be the previous turning point. And what I'm going to do is risk $100. So I must trade a volume of 0.09. So I'm going to set it to 0.09 with a stop loss here. Take profit at, what does that look like? I'll approximate it, 1.06180 and buy at market. Okay, so this is what this is my position now, and I'm thinking that this is going to have a 70% or more likelihood of hitting its target level. Now, one thing to notice is that this is a very long-term chart. In fact, we're only expecting, if it goes in that direction, we can expect it to go there over the next few days, right? Notice where the daily volatility is, right? So we're expecting this instrument to trade here in the next 24 hours. Imagine how long it's going to take to trade in that range, right? So we're looking at 3-4 days, maybe even more. You can see the number of days that it takes to trade in that range: 1, 2, 3, 4, 4-5 days to hit that target level, which is okay. You can be patient because you set your stop loss to be really far away, but you've set a very small position size, right? So even if it hits that stop loss, you're only in for $100. Okay, but that's not the objective of this webinar, is to trade. I'm going to close that position, and let's go back and look at some more opportunities. some more stats. Okay, so let's go back and look at the final set of statistics, approaching key levels. And now all of you might be thinking, wow, approaching key levels. Let me redraw what those look at. These are at 80%, right? So this is what an approaching key level looks like. It has not broken through support or resistance. It's still moving towards that level. You might be thinking, holy crap, 80% pass probability, Ilan, why don't I just trade approaching key levels? So approaching key levels are an interesting beast in that I think these stats are a little skewed. They're correct mathematically and statistically, but they're a little skewed, and let me explain why. A lot of the time, these approaching key levels are very close to the. Let's look at Aussie 200. Okay, so this is this opportunity on the Aussie 200 to go up to this level here. Now, notice how close this forecast is in relation to the current price, right? So, although that the statistics, the 81% is mathematically correct, arithmetically correct, I find that sometimes you have to be very, very careful what you trade because the opportunity is really close. In this situation, it's still tradable because this is a daily chart, right? And so you're looking at, you still got, in the situation, what is it, 73? So you still got quite a few pips you can make, okay, in this situation. But let's say you were looking at approach, I'm just going to filter a few things out, approaching key levels on 15 or 30-minute patterns. Here's something on the 30-minute pattern, USD JPY. Okay, so this is just a few pips. It's really, really close. Can you really trade that? It's questionable. You have to look at it on a case-by-case basis, right? So although these statistics look really good, remember that the price is really small. So even if you do potentially win a lot, it's very, very small amounts. Again, past performance is not indicative of future performance, so always just keep that in mind. Okay, so again, explaining all those statistics to you, and now really now you understand why. Let me go back to AutoChartist. Why we only look at the breakout chart patterns, breakout key levels, and approaching key levels, because those are the only three types of patterns on which we have past performance statistics. Okay, so there's a reason why that's the default search, plus big movement for informational purposes. Okay, it's because those are the ones we have statistics on. Why don't we have statistics on emerging chart patterns and Fibonacci patterns? Well, again, AutoChartist is nothing new in the market. It's not a new theory of trading or a black box model. It is based on Dow theory of trading, which has been around since the 1930s. And there's no theory around what is a forecast of an emerging pattern, right? So the textbooks don't actually tell us when you find an emerging pattern, let's say USD JPY, here we go, emerging pattern like this. So you can see it's turned around and it's on a downward trend, potentially turning around and going down. There is no, downward trend, there is no theory telling us, oh, it's going to reach this level or whatever. This is just AutoChartist feature telling you, hey, we're seeing a trend on a certain instrument. It doesn't actually provide a forecast. And so if there's no forecast, we can't generate stats on it. And it's the same thing actually for Fibonacci patterns. We can't generate stats if we don't have a forecast. Fibonacci patterns get really confusing because there's so many lines and levels. So we avoid that and we provide statistics only on those three types of trading opportunities, which is the breakout chart patterns, breakout key levels, and approaching key levels. Okay. All right, good. And so I've been talking for 30 minutes now, or 25 minutes. I wonder if there's any questions, because really I summarized today how to choose those opportunities. While I wait for questions, I do have another comment to make, which is around this mobile application. So if you're if you're wondering about keeping track of these, should we call them high probability trade setups, the mobile application actually merges the available trading opportunities together with the past performance statistics, right? And allows you to choose at what level of probability you want to see opportunities. Let me actually, you know what, I didn't share my screen. Let me quickly share my cell phone screen and show you what that looks like. I see there's some questions coming up. So I'm going to get to those in a moment. Thank you, people, for asking questions. Let me just quickly show you my cell phone. I'm just getting a wire here and hooking it up. Okay. So I have that wired up. I heard it made a sound, so it should be hooked up. Oh, no, that didn't work. One moment. Oh no! Oh no! Oh no! I can't share my my cell phone screen. Ah, there it is. Okay, here we go. Let's see what that looks like. Okay, here is my cell phone, and I'm in the app, and so I have a whole bunch of signals available to me. But what I can do is, in my filter section, I can tell it what to send me information about. So, for example, I only want on the FX market, and I only want it on, let's say, CAD Swiss franc, obviously Euro USD. Let's see what that is. GBP JPY are some of these majors over here. Let's see if I've got. I want to find something that I've seen. Did I miss out Euro USD? I'm not quite sure why Euro USD is in here. That's a bit strange. Anyway, so I can set it, and most importantly, I can set my minimum probability. So what that means that it'll average out the probabilities for me the way I did it manually on the screen. So let's say I look at 60%, and then I'll save those settings, and I'll go back to our favorites. And so it's telling me right now there is only one opportunity that fits my criteria on the selected instruments with a probability of higher than 60%. Now, obviously, I would expect you to select many more instruments, right? So, for example, if we go back into here, I'll enable actually all of FX with a minimum probability of, let's say, 75%. I'll save those settings. I'll go back here, and then I've got all these opportunities, which are, again, based on past performance, have a 70% or more probability of hitting their target level. Okay, so again, this mobile app, it does this merging of these statistics together. Okay, all right. So here's some questions coming through. So Maggie, on this should look on MT5 exactly the same way it looks on MT4. So on MT5, you install the application and there is an expert advisor. The menu structure on MT5 is a little bit different. You have to go to expert advisor, one other sub menu, but AutoChartist is right there. You can drag and drop it on in the same way you do it for MetaTrader 4. Tony, is this only for FX? No, it is not only for FX. Actually, it will work on any instrument that you have on your uh, on your market watch window. Just like I had this Aussie 200 opportunity. Let's quickly find the statistics on those. I think for some reason it's listed under broker and not under something else. So here you can see all the different statistics for non-FX pairs. So all these stats are available for non-FX pairs too. Okay. So Maggie, again, if you want to bring up the signals, I sent a chat message. I hope you can see that chat message to everyone. I sent a link. You can download the plugin from that link. Once you go through this setup process, it's a downloadable, and you click next, and install. At the end of it, you'll have the AutoChartist Expert Advisor. Again, you just drag and drop it onto your chart. Again, if you have a live account, it's free to use. There's no charge at all. Adonis, I can't answer your question right now. It has to do with another broker. This is a webinar for FP Markets, so I'm going to skip. Your question. Okay, those are the only questions. Okay, good. I'm glad I could answer your questions. I hope you enjoyed today's webinar. The next webinar, from what I recall, has everything to do with risk management, if I recall correctly. So that is a really, really important webinar to attend. In fact, in my opinion, much more important than today's one about filtering trade setups, because everyone has different styles of trading and different ways of setting stop losses and take profits. But I think it's important to know how to use the tool. But next week's webinar is absolutely vital. Please attend that one. And with that, I leave you for the rest of the day. I'm going back to bed. It's 4:30 a.m. here, so I'm going back to bed before my work day starts. Bye, everyone. Have a good one.